Yo, what's up, everybody? GM. Happy Monday morning. Hope you're doing all right. Hope you had a great weekend. I did, got a lot of things done. Sold some shit around the house. If you guys saw the post, we are stacking up those stacks so that we can stack up those chips. And by chips, I mean crypto and NFT. There is a different kind of chip on the schedule for today. Definitely looking forward to getting that a little bit later. That is the new barbecue flavored Dorito. Found a bag at the store yesterday. It took literally everything inside my body to not open that bag yesterday. But we held off and we're ready to go today. So GM everybody. What is going? I got a bunch of things that we're going to talk about today. I got some articles pulled up. We'll talk about the Amazon NFT marketplace that's supposed to launch next month. And then Snoop Dogg was just announced over the weekend that he is a co-founder of the Web3 powered live streaming platform Schiller. I applied to be a Schiller content creator for my account this morning. So we'll see what happens. And actually, so I posted that. And I got a message from Sam, who's the other co-founder. There's a chance that Sam is going to pop in here today and chat about the project. So definitely looking forward to learning more about that and see, as a creator in the space, anything that is Web3 friendly, love it. So that'll be a great conversation to have later if Sam pops in. Let's take a look at we wait for some people to fill in. Why don't we just retweet the room really quick? Typical house cleaning stuff. Let's retweet the room. Let's get some more folks in here. We can go through some of this crypto price action. We've got a little bit of a green day on our hands in some regards. Let's pop this thing down over here to number one here. Let's see. We got Bitcoin coming in at 22,460. It's down 5.5% on the week, but it's up almost 0.1% on the day. You got ETH coming in at 1571. I'll tell you what, I am just so looking forward to seeing this thing pop down to around the $1,000 range. I know it'll happen soon. I feel it in my plumes. I hope you do too. I know a lot of other people are saying the same thing. So we'll see where all that goes. Let's see. Anything else? You got XRP coming at 36 cents. You got Cardano 33. I still think Cardano at 33 cents is literally the buy of a lifetime. If you have not started the DCA in yet, start thinking about it. With the anticipation, and again, I fully expect, and a lot of people think that we are going to see another leg down. So don't ape in yet. We've got the Shanghai upgrade coming for Ethereum soon, with like several 100,000 Ethereum set to get unstaked. That will ultimately create sell pressure. It always does in this crypto industry. If you don't think that the price of Ethereum is going to drop after all of that ETH is unstaked, I have got something to sell you. So hit me up in the DMs. I'm just kidding. I don't sell anything to anybody. Let's see. Turbo popped in. GM, man. I wasn't even looking at the crowd. Really quick, GM, everybody. We got Turbo, Lissa, Kenton, Matthew, Crypto K, Mine, Colt, Chains, Joyride, Carrie, and JC. GM, everybody. Thank you for popping in. Again, hope you had a great weekend. I did. We're also going to be giving away that Ledger backpack today. Scheduled to give that thing away last night at 9 p.m. However, my wife and I decided to hang out a little bit. This might be too much information for y'all, but it's all right. We decided to fill it. We got one of those big ass bathtubs in our master bathroom. We filled it up, did a little bubble bath, hang out, had a nice, great conversation, drank a glass of wine, really just spent some time with each other. I thought that was a very important thing to do. Sometimes you got to connect with our loved ones. And so it was totally awesome, but it just completely slipped my mind because I was having such a great time hanging out with my wife that I forgot to do the giveaway. But we will do that today, so don't you worry. GM Turbo, how are you, man?
Yo, what up, Jay? Man, feeling great, bro. Didn't get in till late last night. We had to make a little casino trip last night.
What'd you play? Sorry, I just took a sip of coffee there. What were you guys playing?
We did slots, man. I had a heck of a running. I had a heck of a winning streak going. Vox did not so much, but we had a great time.
No, that's great. I didn't know that there were casinos in California, or did you guys? Yeah, it's not like you would have driven anywhere. You didn't go to like Tahoe or anything, right? They got casinos in Cali.
No, yeah, man. It was like maybe about an hour away.
Okay. Well, that's
But so we had a great time. Just finishing up our last of our bonding trip, getting ready to head back to Ohio. It's freaking Monday. We need some motivation, Jay. We got to get this thing started right.
I feel that, man. I feel that. Well, we can definitely get through there. We did all of our little house cleaning that we normally did. If you are just popping in, we are going to be talking about. You know what I got? Here we go. And if you're watching on the live stream, I put a little, got one of those little ticker things. Today we are going to be talking about. We just talked about the Ethereum price. Looking at that chart. We can get into a little bit more if you'd like. Schiller announced they got Snoop Dogg as a co-founder. Amazon NFT Marketplace is going to be launching next month. And I think most importantly, we're going to do a live taste test of the new Dorito flavor, which is barbecue. I'm like super excited for that. I hope you guys are too. Did anybody else? I put out a post yesterday saying for you to get a bag in case you want to participate in the taste test yourself. Did anybody else grab a bag yesterday, yay or nay? It's okay that you didn't. It's okay. I will be your guinea pig. I'll know exactly if this is better than nacho cheese, better than a Cool Ranch, or better than a spicy nacho. Chances are there's not.
What's the flavor, Jay?
Barbecue. Thumb down. Barbecue is one of the best flavored chips that was ever made, besides nacho cheese Doritos. Just saying.
I know, man. I think maybe my whole problem is like Doritos have just been such fun flavors for so long, and now they're gonna start bringing in these, these raggedy ass traditional flavors like barbecue. What's next? Freaking salt and vinegar?
God, I hope not. I hope that if you're listening, don't ever make a salt and vinegar Dorito. I'm sure they probably do in some other countries. Like I actually saw Crypto K posted something over the weekend that you went to a grocery store and got like all sorts of crazy flavored chips. There was an Asian supermarket by the house that I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago called H Mart or Kmart or whatever. No, Kmart was like a normal thing. H Mart, I think, is what it was. And you could go in there and get some like insane flavor things. The fish market was absolutely massive, but the chip selection, like Crypto K put up there over the weekend, definitely some interesting flavors. But I do hope that Dorito never does a salt and vinegar. There's no way they'll try that. I do like salt and vinegar chips, but they have to be a kettle chip. That's like the only way to eat that.
Oh, I do love a kettle chip. I don't like salt and vinegar chips. I can't stand the smell of them either.
They do stink a little. I would agree with you there. All right, really quick before we get into our first article of the day today, I want to hop over to nftgo.io. We're at a 35 and cool. Things have definitely cooled down. We were at 51 a week and a half ago. Now we're at 35 today, but that's all right. We've got to experience the ups and the downs. That's what makes the whole market work. And plus, we were just saying a few minutes ago, a lot of us fully expect to see another major leg down price-wise on your major crypto price actions. So with that is probably going to come, in some regards, some falling prices on NFTs, and at least people trying to cash out to take advantage of the opportunity. And when I say opportunity, I mean, your ability to turn, say, 2 ETH into 3 or 4 ETH, that kind of thing, by just cashing out, sitting on the sidelines, waiting for that price that you like, and then rebuy in, and then boom, 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 you got more ETH. That's the game. What's up, Dougie? D-Hype.
Hey, I think I heard my name. I don't know what's going on, man. All I know is that all of a sudden I was at ETH Denver into the Denver metaverse, and now my Twitter is barely working. I can't barely hear anything. And it's okay though, because I have gone into the flames of Ethereum Denver, and I have emerged as a whole new, even more powerful hype than before.
That's awesome. Now, can we talk a little bit about Denver? Oh, and I'm hearing myself.
Oh, I can hear you better now.
Okay.
Oh, you mean Denver? ETH Denver, the greatest crypto conference ever to happen in the history of the entire planet? Yes, we can definitely talk about that.
Some of those videos that came out of that were pretty strange looking.
I have like 10,000 videos on my phone and on my Sony J-Chains. I'm not kidding you. someone last night, I think it was Devin from Sound told me that there was these estimates of how many people showed up for ETH Denver. They got up to even like 40,000 estimated people here.
Really? That's massive.
I'm telling you right now that this made every other crypto conference on the planet look like child's play.
Dang.
There's so many people. There's so many people here. And the greatest part about it was like almost every single person here was a builder, somebody that's like building a project, trying to solve a problem, trying to do something. They were like people that are passionate about what they're doing, devs, founders of projects, and people that are like barely on Twitter. You know what I mean? I'm going around like getting everybody's contact information, talking to them, seeing if there's anything I can do to help anybody, like to get attention to what they're doing, to have them or to think differently about how they like engage with people and present themselves. And almost across the board, people did not even use Twitter. Some of them didn't even have Twitter accounts because they've got their hands in the dirt and the mud. They're actually like just building all day and doing things, right? And I'm like, please, please come over to Twitter so we can have amazing Twitter spaces and have people like you talk and like share what you care about, right? As we see, we got Final Frontier in the house, like the builders, the people that are like just busting their butts and doing things. I mean, there were so many cool like Web3 games I've never even heard of, which is completely nuts. And because I work in that too, and it's like there's just so much going on. And the thing about it, Jay Change, that was so freaking magical, I'm telling you, is that whether it was like a founder of a company or a dev or an investor, everybody was so excited to be there and having such a good time and so open and wanting to connect. Like it was so easy to make amazing connections. I kept getting invited to like private dinners and private parties of like 12 people, where it's like, people that are on the team of like Binance or like some gigantic company, or like Oleg, who's the founder of Sweatcoin, becoming like my best friend. Like the thing about it, you guys have to realize, like in person, it's a whole nother level. Like, I mean, when you can meet people that are doing amazing things, you don't even know what they do, and like you hang out with them and have this like intense, fun, like really engaging time where you can see people's personalities. And then you find out this person founded a company with like 140 million users or something, right? Like it's one of those things where like you want to just exist on that plane of everyone connecting and collaborating with each other and just showing their powers and what they can do for each other. There's even the other night, like this big event for gamers in Web3 games. And I met so many investors that want to invest in projects I work with, and like, and people that were like ridiculously excited to meet me. Like I took over the panel talks half the time and the people didn't like connect that it was me from online. And then when they did, they like freaked out. And it made me feel so good because the reason that happens is because I'm in their discords and I'm on their streams. Like I'm hanging out with you guys when you did the stream the other day, and I believe you're streaming now, and coming in and having fun and being electric and exciting and really wanting to like engage in their game and like really get to know it and to like be there with the people and like help them like find cool ways to like get more users in their game and show how their game's exciting and fun. And really, and the thing is that, when you're really genuine, right? And like part of the thing about this is like, Ardo's here from Final Frontier and we became fast friends. When you really want to kick some butt, like really do, like people, it's something that's really hard to fake. People really pick up on it. So when we're doing it here in the Twitter spaces and hanging out, but imagine in person, man, it's like so freaking powerful. It's ridiculous. And this is the thing, in this bear market where we were just down in Art Basel when the participation was really low. I mean, there's conferences I've been to where it feels like there's barely anybody there. And then ETH Denver, they're like saying there's 20, 30 to 40,000 people showing up for this, because the people that are real builders, they really understand that you got to make those connections and you have to really like collaborate and work with other people and projects and get your name out there. People have to know that you're there. In the Sport DAO and John, who like run ETH Denver, are freaking geniuses. There's this, I mean, this was so good. Everything was so well done. And it was about real community and building and builders in the space. It wasn't about being super big and flashy and having lavish VIP events, which is fine and cool, but it wasn't about any of that. So the only people that were here were the people that were dead serious about Web3 and building and making those connections. And everybody was having the greatest time of their life. I interviewed so many people, and they were just over the moon that this was happening in this crazy bear market where no one's spending money or wanting to do anything. There was just like this outpouring of people wanting to be here. I heard rumors that like ETH Denver is now considering even having a permanent campus where they buy land and they can do this all year round. Colorado is like the #1 state in the country for DAOs, for the laws and like the flexibility and of the government here that really wants to invite Web3. And it's so freaking exciting, J Chains. I'm telling you, like everybody was on fire. It was so cool to see because there's a lot of sentiment of Web3 of like the bear market and stuff, but this was just completely electric. And I literally just woke up after ETH Denver hanging out with Flu and all the guys from like they used to work from Harmony that like introduced me to started me in Web3 of people I really respect. So this is what is happening at ETH Denver, and it's so awesome. I'm sure you're gonna hear from people.
Yo, let's definitely go ETH Denver. Yes, ETH Denver. I'm sad we missed it though, man. Maybe next time.
Dougie, I'm gonna mute you.
really
Dougie, I'm gonna mute you because there is an echo. That's one of the most important things. Like going to these in real life events, being able to network, being able to connect, being able to meet up with these people that you hang out in spaces or projects that you're a part of. Definitely super important. I love hearing that it was the people that want to be there. It wasn't so much about the VIP parties, even though those are awesome. And there is a lot of networking to be done at them usually, but sometimes they are a little exclusive, and I think sometimes we want a little bit more inclusivity to some of our events. So thank you for the update, Dougie. I appreciate you. Crypto Zay, GM fam, how are you?
Top of the morning, Jay Change. Top of the morning to everybody, all the gentlemen. EH, appreciate your perspective and everything from there. Thank you for solidifying that that's where I need to be. I couldn't make it this year because I have some other things to take care of. But last year, I probably went to as many conferences as I could. I did miss ETH Denver. I didn't even know about it. I learned about it from folks that I met at some of the conferences, from Basel to New York to everything in between. And all of it was just fake to me. I didn't like it. Those were like my first times really going to different conferences. I spoke at one of them in Miami, and like a lot of it was like what you guys were talking about, but hearing about that the developers and the folks that really take this place kind of seriously, not to say that others don't, again, like just my perspective on it, the real builders that are putting their heads down and grinding, that's the conference that they go to. It looks like, hey, I got to make my plans for next year now. But I did want to ask overall, what was the overall like narrative amongst that group? What are some of the trends or narratives or things that they're working on that you could share, or anything that you might have picked up?
Yeah, Dougie, what are some of the massive key takeaways that you learned? And anyone else, guys, just so you know, Web3 Breakfast is a absolute community show. It's by the community for the community. So if you were at ETH Denver, or if you know somebody that was, and you've got another something to add to the conversation, please feel free to request to speak. That is open at any point during any show that we ever do. I literally only have one rule. We only have one rule here at Web3 Breakfast, and it is don't be a douchebag. So please feel free. If you got something you want to contribute to the conversation, you are more than welcome to be a speaker here. Again, just don't be a douche. That's it. Dougie, what was your biggest takeaway that you got besides that it was builders or people that wanted to be there? What was your key takeaway from ETH Denver?
Well, before the Real Core conference starts, there's a whole like week and a half or so of hackathons. And so imagine so many people that are showing up to do that. And there's people just solving problems left and right. There's so many projects involving like zero knowledge proofs, right? Where like you don't have to release your identity. And I met a lot of people, like there's a project called ZK Bob, which is a coin where you can like actually like send in like, you know, ETH or whatever you want to like their project and their liquidity pool. And then on the other side, someone can take out the same amount, and like nobody knows who took that out, but they got it. So like you could have a payroll and then have a way that like, you know, nobody knows who actually is getting paid what, because, you know, sometimes like that people really need privacy for certain things, and that's really important. And
Oh, that's
so there's ways to do that.
Super important in the working world, right? I'm gonna mute you
Yeah.
again just because I hear myself talking. Sorry, Doug. You got a crazy echo going today. Yes, like having that privacy in the payments world as an employer, you need to keep that separate, because if you've got two people, you know, making different amounts for whatever reason, you know, that's maybe it's based on skill, maybe it's based on all sorts of things. So I mean, that is one of those necessary things as a I mean, you always hear that, you know, from the owner of the company, the manager, whatever it is. It's like, you know, we don't discuss payroll. And so being, you know, like if companies are going to shift over to a you know, blockchain based payment system where you're getting paid in crypto, you do want to keep that, because I mean, blockchain is transparent. You can actually see you know, what's being sent out, what's being, you know, put in, all that kind of stuff. Let's see, the American Crypto Academy just popped up. GM fam, how are you today? And Zima, thank you for joining.
Good morning. Good morning. Howdy. Shout out to everyone. Jay Chains, thanks for having me up here for a few minutes. I got to jump on a call in about 5 minutes, but I wanted to share a shout out. Doug Hype, we tried to connect so many times and he kept messaging me on Twitter, but I checked that periodically and we kept missing each other. And then he's like, are you still here last night? But I had left early in the morning. Man, hey, here's a tip for coming out of Denver. If you're leaving early in the morning, order your Uber or Lyft the night before. It was a nightmare to take an Uber. I had to ask others traveling to the airport to jump on them. Good thing I did, because then the highway was closed and I got to the airport half hour before boarding, and if not less. Luckily, I made it through. My luggage didn't, but whatever, I made it through. Anyway, I wanted to share my biggest takeaway from ETH Denver this year. Always amazing. I went last year. This year was bigger, better, faster, maybe. Why not? And it is really, we always talk about this, that the space is only going to get easier for us to onboard billions of users, and there was a lot of evidence of that happening. There are new tools, new solutions coming out, providing projects with tools to manage their Web3 project as a business and become legit and be ready for regulation, so that everything is accounted for, which is encouraging to see, because a lot of major projects haven't necessarily followed the proper procedures to run a business, thinking, oh, this is Web3, I can do what I want. Well, yes, but it also depends where you're based and what regulations may or may not come out. And so for everyone's protection, I think those tools are going to be quite important. And along the same measures is there are also solutions that are making onboarding a lot easier. We're talking, there was a plethora of new wallets coming out. I think probably a dozen too many, but some of them are really good custodial / self-custody solutions, where it gives Web2 brands and major brands very easy onboarding for their existing millions, if not billions of users, where they will, just by having an account with that brand, they will also have a digital wallet, and then that brand, similarly to what Starbucks did, would then be able to provide them with digital assets without the user even really realizing that they're digital assets. So I based on everything I saw at Denver, it looks like 2023 is really going to be a big push for growing the Web3 community and onboarding billions of more folks. Thanks for allowing me to share.
That's exciting. I really hope, and thank you for the update there. I really hope that, you know, if we're seeing more wallets come out, like, we literally don't need any more siloed off wallets. So if you're creating a wallet, fucking stop, unless you're going to add every single fucking blockchain on it. Okay. Please.
But that's kind of what they are.
I mean, I'm
doing.
talking, Jackie, I want VeChain, I want Cardano, I want HBAR, I want Solana for the people that care about it, Ethereum. If you're going to do Bitcoin on there, like somebody needs to make a wallet that literally truly is interoperable for every blockchain. And then we can just stop, all these guys trying to build their little silo. It's like the metaverse. We don't need 1,000 people building a metaverse. We need one metaverse that works for everybody. That's my
JJ, this is Zima.
What's up, Zima?
What's up, bro? By the way, what's up, my peoples? I'm recognizing a lot of names here. Got Kerry C, got American Crypto Academy, Doug Hyde. We have yet to interact, but I've seen your videos. Always rocking that fur coat in incredibly hot weather.
So true. So down in Miami, it's 1,000 degrees, and Dougie's in his fur coat, sweating his balls off.
Man, not hot. The man's not hot. And we got Ken here. Okay, so let me see. Couple things, Doug Hyde. I wanted to say good job in pointing out how the economies of the audience or the population of devs that are on the ground grinding really do have a step to take into the communication space like Twitter, right? That's an interesting observation that you said. How a lot of them are doing shit, but they're not even on Twitter, and even though don't even have accounts. I myself am as such. As you can see, I just celebrated my 100th follower. And actually, it was Kerry C here who was my 100th follower. I made a big deal out of it because it was a big deal for me. So, and it's okay to applaud that. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So, you're
on your way, kid.
But at the same time, for sure, I was grinding, right? And for sure, I've been doing that for years. And at the same time, I find it interesting. American Crypto Academy, you make a very good point as well. It's interesting how I actually always assumed that Web3 did treat their setups like businesses, just as naturally. So I didn't realize there was actually a gap there, So I just wanted to say that if anybody is an OG traditional finance business cat, I mean, they should be raising their hands. I'll raise my hand as well to say, hey, listen, if there really is a need for like transition or guidance from like Web3, I guess, to like having some mentors, I guess you could say, we should definitely be merging it that way and be clear about that, because I didn't realize that there was such a gap to cross, So anyway, that's all I'm saying.
Just real quick, if I may comment, and that's how I learned as well, is because I saw this project and I asked them what they do, and I'm like, why is there a need for you to do what you do? And I found out that people send out crypto payments, receive crypto payments without invoices, without W-4s, without any sort of paper trail in any way. And they forget that they're an actual business. They may be a project, but they're a business. They have to account for all of that. And so that's why.
But it's interesting too, because you also have to factor in the international nature of some of these projects as well, and therefore the complexity in terms of cross-border scenarios don't actually get. It's not black and white in terms of traditional guidance, and therefore a more advanced form of experience and international experience should be applied. And there are those that have that. I have enough of that in my own background outside of crypto to probably make sense of it for some people. But yeah, truly is different, right? Another level. That's it.
Oh yeah. Let's get to let me do Turbo. You've had your hand up, and then we'll get to Crypto Zay, and then I want to hop into our first article.
Oh, my shoulder. Man, my arm is getting so tired holding it up there. But I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm all right.
We'll have to get you some. We'll have to get you some dumbbells so you can start working your arms out. So you can feel a little bit stronger.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to. Man, I'm gonna get some 10s or something. You know what I mean? I can kind of work my way up. Now, I wanted to just, two things. The first thing was the only thing about going to these damn conventions is because I've broken into all of them, right? Like, I haven't paid for a single one of them. Got to pride myself on that. But like every time we go, like all the projects that from the very first convention that I went to, I don't see them anymore. The second convention, nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? It's like, when are we gonna start to see some things kind of coming together?
I like what you're saying there. I think probably once we. To be honest with you, Turbo, that's a good question. I have seen some projects that you will see them over and over at some of the conferences, but the problem is there are so many people that hop into this ecosystem for the money grab that's why you only see them one time, one and done. That's it. They get their money and then they're gone, or they hop on and you got the serial launchers who will launch a project and abandon it, launch another one, then abandon it, launch. So that's just a game for some people to play. But hopefully, as our ecosystem matures, a lot of that stuff will go away. Crypto Zay, what's up?
I didn't want to get too technical, but I did want to ask if someone could kind of break down this ERC 4337 thing that came out of Denver, I believe, at one of the conferences there or whatever. But nonetheless, never mind. If we got to move on to another thing, or if y'all could point me in the proper direction, that would be great, because I'm trying to properly understand it and all these new wallets, but none of it's making sense to what we actually need in this space. So I don't know if folks from Denver had any insight.
That I feel like we could probably do an episode on this week. That seems like it's longer than a half an hour conversation. But in case anybody is wondering, ERC 4337 is account abstraction using alt mempool, an account abstraction proposal which completely avoids consensus layer protocol changes instead of relying on higher layer infrastructure. That is definitely some high level shit. Let's talk about that this week sometime, because let's talk about a lot of things. Ethereum this week, because we've got Shanghai coming up soon. We've got all of that ETH getting ready to get unstaked. I have a feeling that everybody feels that there's something going on in this industry, and we're probably going to see that leg down. I think it's all going to happen in the next several weeks. They did postpone the Shanghai upgrade to April. It was supposed to be like very soon, but now it's in April. So I say probably in the next 60 days, we'll hopefully have been where we need to go, and then we'll be on our way back up from there. So if you guys are all right, let's hop into our first article we'll talk about today. Just in, Amazon NFT Marketplace to reportedly launch next month. There's supposed to be 15 NFT collections that are going to launch on it. Who knows which those collections are going to be? I think a lot of speculation will be ensued. In my opinion, it's going to be probably a higher imbalance of blue chips and then some smaller, more affordable NFTs for more people to get in. Is that Metaverse D? Oh shit! What's up, Metaverse D? Just popped in as a speaker. GM fam. Hope you are doing all right. Give her a second to connect here. What's happening?
Hey, good morning. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Sounds like you are driving.
I am. Speculation only 100%. And also disclaimer, I do hold this project. However, there is a particular project that has been saying that they have a quote unquote big announcement coming around the second week of April. They have said things like it's bigger than Nike and it's bigger than Reddit. And the speculation has eventually landed on Amazon. And this was several weeks ago. I don't want to drop the project for fear of shilling unless you're okay with that. But I did want to have the disclaimers up front.
Can you allow me to get onto OpenSea very quickly, and then all right. Yes, you may drop the name of that project now.
Okay, I very much pride myself on ethics, so I wanted to be full disclaimer, etc. But Kid Called Beast has been suggesting for a while that there is a big announcement. Now, the details that they have provided to the community that are in fact factual is that they will be dropping a secondary collection of, oh my gosh, now I'm forgetting the numbers, but I believe that it's going to be another like 40,000 NFTs. And then 10,000 of those will be reserved for current holders. He's been saying forever one beast equals one beast. And they've said that customization will be coming with the second collection for beast holders only of the Genesis collection. These are facts that have been presented. So it would only make sense that a secondary chain is coming for those other collections, because he said it would not impact or dilute. And our best guess is Amazon. Again, speculation only, but the facts are there if you'd like to dig them up.
I love it. Thank you for popping in. Thank you for the alpha, and I will see you probably sometime next month. Moving back to Central Texas.
Oh, fantastic! And for those who aren't aware, Jay Chains and I go back a very long time, and he would call bullshit on me if I was saying anything that smelled like bullshit.
100%. 100%.
Good morning, Adam.
GM, Commander Ardo, how are you today? How was your weekend?
I spent it just getting some things in order, getting ready for today. I'm excited for the future of Web3 Breakfast, when media, what all of us on this stage are building. We just got through ETH Denver. I was able to see the outcome of that. And now we prepare for NFTLA. I know that's something that Jay Chains went to last year and met up with Crypto Stash and Wendy O and several others. Did a great job. It was some of the best footage I have seen someone create attending an event. Absolutely amazing. And I look forward to seeing that out of Win Media. Make sure you all are paying attention to what Jay Chains, Turbo, D Hype, Lady Boss Net, KT, and several others are doing. Make sure you're retweeting out Web3 Breakfast so that everyone can learn about what we're doing. And we are bringing the heat here in a couple weeks with multiple things. You can now see Win Media on the Final Frontier website. We are officially promoting Win Media. You're going to see Win Media in the magazine. You're going to see Win Media on the streams. And you might be seeing Win Media pop up on one of our future streams because we just got challenged to a Champions IO tournament. So it's about to get hot and heavy.
Let's go. Dude, I love that. You always get me so excited. Dude, Ardo gets me excited, man. You got hot alpha drops. We're doing a lot of things, man. A lot of things cooking behind the scenes. I'll tell you what, this is the time to be building, growing, developing, networking, do it all. I mean, like, even it's so obviously you've got to take care of your business connections. You got to take care of your finances, all that stuff. You guys saw that I posted, something I've been selling a bunch of shit. Yes, I'm also moving, but literally anything that we don't want or need, I am selling for cash or for like Venmo or whatever. And then that shit's all going in the bank and it's all going into crypto or NFTs because this is the time to load up on that stuff. I'm telling you, I promise you.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you got doggone Amazon coming in, this is the time. This is what we all talked about. This was for those OGs who've been around for a minute. These big companies are coming, big businesses coming. Well, here they are. I think I do champion Amazon. Coming into the space. Because we should finally see this final dump of ETH and then we can get back to the bull, coming. I think it's a very strategic thing for them to get in and the timing is just right.
I mean, it shouldn't hurt as bad knowing that it's coming, right? You can prepare yourself for this. It's not like, man, I'll tell you what, like I've gone through a couple bear markets now. Sometimes things will happen without warning, or you didn't quite know, or you didn't quite understand how the market worked. Now I understand how the market works. I understand what's coming. I realize that this is an opportunity, and I hope that y'all do too. This is your opportunity, literally, to change your financial future. Millionaires are made in the bear market. You've got about a year left until we really start cooking. Wait for that leg down and then run like hell. Do as much as you can. That's about I think all the advice we can give, right, Ardo?
No, look, we're young. We are anxious because we want to know what's going on, right? We want to see the future. We want to know the regulations. We want to see the space grow. And there's so much talent in this space. Everyone in this room has a talent. You were either born with it or you learned it or it just became a part of you. But I'll tell you this, during the stage of building, hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. And that's going to be the difference maker as our space grows. I'm telling you.
Yes, sir.
Amen to that. What anybody okay, so we've got probably I would agree, because I have seen those big announcement things coming out of the kid called Beast Camp. Super excited. We also got a chance to play a track by Awesome as JL and some of the other guys there on our Friday 420 space last week. So I think that's something we might add in every week. That was so much fun. Literally great way to kick off the weekend. So maybe we do that again this Friday. So I did put out a post earlier this morning, guys and gals. If you know any NFT music artists, drop a link, tag them in that post, whatever it is, so that we can get more music. Because I failed y'all on Friday, just so you know. I thought we were going to do an hour space, so I grabbed 4 songs. We did like 2.5 hours. We had to replay every song. One of them we had to replay 3 times. Thank you for calling me out on that, Turbo. I definitely appreciate it. But it was like the Beetlejuice, right? We played it 3 times, and then Sammy showed up. And Nessie was already in the house. So it kind of worked. Maybe that's the model. But I need more music. At the end of the day, I'm going to need more music if we're going to run these spaces a little bit longer. So find that post and start tagging all your favorite NFT artists.
We got you. We got you. We got you.
Are you looking for live or are you looking for pre-recorded? Or does it matter?
Pre-record, I think, is my favorite because it gives me a chance to load the audio up into my Rodecaster, so the quality is perfect. You know, you hear some people that just put their phone in front of a speaker, and sometimes it's not as good. So I want the good quality, but then I want them in the space so we can ask them questions and talk to them. Sorry, Turbo, you do a good job. Some people don't, though.
Oh, no. Yeah, I was just giving a cry face for all of the music that doesn't get heard through the spaces, you know, because I mean, they should have a chance, you know. And I was actually, it's funny you bring up music, Jay, because I was going to say, I heard, and I don't really have either this is true or I'm making it up, but I heard that Spotify is going to allow for some type of wallet connect now to where you can access music through NFTs on the platform very soon.
Yes, it is. They're gonna roll that out to their premium subscribers only, and it is a way to token gate some of the music. It's going to be I think it's a short-term thing. They're just going to try it out, see how it works. Probably, go back to R&D. You know, they'll learn some things and then maybe make some fixes. But yeah, I mean, like what you said a little bit ago, Turbo. Like we've all been crying, like we need, the mass adoption. We need the big companies coming in. Well, all right, Amazon, Spotify, and who's the other? Oh yeah, Sony with the PlayStation, right? Walmart. Literally every company that you can think of is probably either filed a some kind of patent for Web3 or the metaverse, or is doing so under the radar, like we we did with Sony. They filed a year before they even announced it.
I mean,
look, something's coming.
Go ahead, Ardo.
Oh no, I was saying something's coming, right? We saw Google step in, we saw Sony step in. Spotify stepping in was actually a challenge to Audius, believe it or not, because they saw Audius as a threat. So this is just them stepping their toes into the water, because Audius was being promoted as it would be the Spotify of Web3. And so Spotify was like, oh man, we better start looking at solutions before we miss out on this race. Yeah. So what you see these big companies do is, if they feel threatened or they see competition or their current competition makes a tech leap, they follow suit so that they can stay relative, competitive, and in charge, so to speak. Because what they do to each other, or they do to smaller organizations, is what we were talking about last week. They will either try to buy you out or they will shut you out. And that's what's going to happen as they all step in, is we'll kind of be sitting back with popcorn while they all go at it, trying to make the latest innovations and get in front of each other.
Nope, not me, Ardo. I'm going to be there just sucking up all of their rug pulls. I'm going to be there just getting them all.
Called Turbo.
I'm just going to say this, okay? Look, if you were talking about a major corporate entry at a higher level than ever before, then the only real play is literally find the techs, build them up, and propose those sales to those corporations by the end of the year, because they are going to buy, and that's the best. That's actually the most profitable play if that's the case.
Well, Ben said it best. He said you have to learn how to swim with them, not against them. Right. And the reason why you don't swim against them is because the resources, power, and the money that they hold. That's what's going to happen with gaming. As Sony steps out with whatever they're working on in silent, as Google steps forward with more than what they have just shown us, swim with them. Right. And that works for any gaming industries that are already in the Web3 space. Learn to work with them. Don't turn them into a competitor, because, again, Google's $39 million was just the lint in their sock, but it was them saying we're coming.
Yeah, and I want to say too, Ardo, and please, Ardo,
Right.
don't murder me for this, but I just want to say that if PlayStation comes out with the gaming console first for the Web3, I'm gonna have a hard time supporting it, man. I can't get behind PlayStation anymore.
Why?
I'm sorry, everyone. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what it is about PlayStation, but like ever since PlayStation 2 and then Xbox 360 came out, I've just been a Microsoft guy the whole way. You know, and now I'm really worried that they're going to be the first ones to get out the game console.
Hey, you can teach an old dog new tricks, man. You could shift over.
Yeah.
I know you could.
Is it the controller?
What's that?
I was saying, is it the controller? Because I kind of had the same.
Maybe.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, speaking of big platforms and all that kind of stuff, all right, we can get into our other article today. This one comes out of this was from Cointelegraph. Snoop Dogg was revealed as a co-founder of the Web3 powered live stream platform. Well, that was weird. Sorry, the live stream platform Schiller. So that was really cool to see that. I've been hearing some things coming out about Schiller. So it was definitely cool to see this article. I had no idea that Snoop was even a part of it. But Snoop, I'll tell you what, man, he has definitely put his footprint into Web3. I would, if anybody has a line to Snoop, I would absolutely love to just ask him a couple questions. That's it. 5 minutes, couple questions, in and out. That's all I need.
We do.
I know.
That's why I feel hashtag something is coming, and so we're working with his toy brand right now. I would love to work with Schiller. We will have the opportunity to speak with him soon. I've already spoke with him in the past. And then in terms of the music, and it speaks in Web3. So Zed Run is working with Triple Crown Jockey Club. So they're big players in the game. Everybody knows Zed Run. Well, Triple Crown Jockey Club is doing the same thing as the Jockey Experience. They're trying to educate people on the sport of kings, which is horse racing, but they're doing it in a way where they teach people the truth about horses and how they're actually treated, and being advocates for stopping all of the bad press that gets put out about it, because race horses are treated like royalty. I mean, they eat better than we do, trust me. And now they're bringing the hip hop community in, because believe it or not, MC Hammer, Drake, a lot of these hip hop artists do go watch horse racing. So they're partnered up with Frank Nitti, who came out of the Death Row Records crew.
Mm-hmm.
And now they have made tracks about horse racing in Web3. So they have a whole album coming to the Web3. And we've been invited to come and hang with them at Dr. Dre's studio out at NFTLA.
Oh, wee boy. Don't miss that.
Yeah. And I was gonna say something about that too, because I was kind of wondering, man, like with Snoop, because he's definitely jumping, into like a lot of the Web3 projects. He's like, heavily involved in stuff. I just wonder, like if how this is going to affect his brand in the future. You know what I mean? Is he going to be like, like that guy, like when the kids are like, oh man, that's that old man who used to make rap music and he got into the Web3, or if he'll become a champion of Web3 and write history. Because I just expect, personally, I just would feel like he would have more influence, but it's really kind of showing the truth of this bear market. When even Snoop Dogg doesn't have the ability to be like, yo, you definitely want to buy this.
I agree with you, Turbo. That will all change when the market flips. I think that he has done a really good job of really solidifying himself as an icon in this Web3. I mean, obviously in Web2 with his massive career in music, but with what he's doing, he's gotten into so many different ecosystems and communities here in Web3. I think he's done a fantastic job. I think, is he the dogfather in Web2 of music? Yes. Is he like the godfather, probably the godfather of Web3 and what he's building for his ecosystem? Absolutely. I don't think anybody will ever think that, oh, it's just he used to be a rap guy, now he's a business mogul or whatever. I think you've seen a lot of people do that. They pivot their careers into something that is more sustainable, or not that it's not sustainable. I mean, he's got a really long career, but he's just making more.
It's branding.
Yeah,
Right.
thank you.
It's branding. If you look at from the time he became a rapper to the time he stepped in this space, it was branding. It wasn't just about his rap. It wasn't about his lyrics. Snoop made sure he had a brand that would survive. And when he stepped in this space, he wasn't just about flipping NFTs. He wasn't just about making a profit. His first thought was, how can I brand myself in this space and then take what I'm investing in and brand that too? And that's what we need to see projects and leaders doing. Don't make it about the profits. Don't make it about how much ETH you make. Don't make it just about the artwork, but about the brand, who you are and what you do. That first impression, that lasting impression, that's what it needs to be about. And you can do that through the power of relationships. Connect with one another and brand yourself to the point where you don't have to tell people who you are. When you step in a room, they know who you are.
That's it, man. That's if you can accomplish that goal, that you've crushed, any kind of branding goal, guideline, anything. KT, you got your hand up. What's up?
I mean, he's singing my song.
Yeah.
That's the basis of everything you do. If you walk into a room, people already know what they're getting, then you get to skip all that hi, how you doing shenanigans. You get right down to business, right then and there. If I actually make it to NFT NYC, I walk into a place, I'm like, oh, there's KT. All of the what do you do, how do you do it, where are you from, all of that crap doesn't have to happen. It's just a discussion. It's like, all right, what are we talking about? It's hard as hell to do. It's taken me 15, 20 years. But if you can do it, man, half the hard work is done. People are going to want to come to you because they know who you are. And if they don't want to talk to you, they're not going to show up. Simple. Weeds out the wheat from the chaff as well.
Absolutely.
Have the energy too. Like when you guys go to these IRL events, look, when I get on the stage in Los Angeles, I'm going up there like I'm Harry Styles or something. That's the energy I'm bringing to the freaking room. I don't care. And this is another thing, and I want to encourage everyone who holds events. I don't care if you only have 5 people show up. Speak to them and give them the same energy as if you had 5,000 people, because those 5 people took the first currency of the world and gave it to you. They took time they can never get back to be there for you. So give them the same energy as though you were having a mega space.
Absolutely, man. You get what you give, right? I think that applies it in so many different facets. But most importantly, when you are trying to, whether it's educate or drop some knowledge on someone, like it's just that's the way to do it, man. You said it absolutely. Let's go to Metaverse D first, and then Diamond Hands.
I was just going to say, I agree so much with the branding, especially with Snoop, especially with other people in this space. It's part of the reason that we saw sort of the rise of the cartoon NFT PFP and tying people so strictly to that PFP. And whenever someone changed it, it's kind of like a shock. But now as we're seeing projects age out or rug or change direction, we're starting to see more and more people change from, PFPs to more of like a doxed image of themselves and really branding forward that way. But one thing I wanted to call out that's absolutely imperative in this space is your integrity and honesty. So there are lots of people in this space that are fan-fucking-tastic at branding. I'm not going to name them, but they're not great people. They've been known to, make scammy decisions or not disclose things. Some start off not disclosing things because they don't know any better. But once you learn, you can do better. And there's people that just continuously support rugged projects or make unethical decisions. And really, your ethos will follow you everywhere. It's why I could raise my hand after not talking to J Chains for what? The last time we had a Zoom was probably over a year ago. I'm doxed to him. He knows what I look like. And he let me pop right on stage instantly. Why? Because of reputation. Reputation is so important in this space. So brand yourself first, but think about what kind of reputation do you want to have? It's okay if you want to be like Snoop and talk about weed and partying and having a good time, but are you ethical in this space? That's what really matters. So just something to think about for everybody out there looking to brand. Don't follow those shitty influencers. Follow your heart.
Absolutely. Amen to that. I couldn't agree more with you, D. Diamond Hands, you still got some?
Yes, sir. Thank you guys so much for having me up. Yeah, I think what we're talking about is really important about reputation and branding. At the end of the day, it's all a balance. Hard work talks, and the rest is all up to you. With great power comes great responsibility, and it all depends on what you're, putting out there for your brand too. And if people are willing to listen, like homie said earlier, half the work is already done. And it's all about what you're trying to put out. Is it actually going to contribute to the space or not? And I just wanted to add to that because I love what you guys are talking about. So thank you for letting me talk.
Oh, absolutely, man. Anytime. I said it earlier in the show. I do know that we've got quite a few more people in here now since when we started. Guys, Web3 Breakfast is a community forum. If at any point you ever there's something we're talking about that resonates with you, you got a question, comment, it doesn't matter. We love different perspectives and opinions here at Web3 Breakfast. Just one thing we ask: don't be a douchebag. That is it. So please feel free, you guys. Anybody that wants to contribute, again, you are more than welcome. Just request to speak. Crypto Zay, you're next.
Yeah, the last two speakers really encompass most of what I was going to say, but overall, I think I always said that Web3 give people the false sense that they know how to run a business. And to Snoop's case, like he's been, branding himself in all aspects and facets, and probably have a team set up, things of that nature to help out. And he himself too is very smart and knowledgeable and engaged within the space and not just taking advice or not just like sitting back and just waiting for people to kind of tell him. Like if you follow Snoop, like he's really into this Web3 stuff, gaming, whatever the case may be. And he also recognizes that this is a new sector that can carry on to millennia in a sense. So he wants to brand himself properly within that as well, so that his legacy continues obviously beyond his lifetime. But nonetheless, like I think for us as investors or folks looking to get into these projects, like you want to look at who and all of that's behind the project and where their mindset is and how they approach the business side of things. I think that's what Crypto Academy was talking about before, where there are new tactics, new products, things of that nature that are coming out to help these project owners become more business minded or have tools that will help them be able to be in a more business structure. And that with all of that will come addressing things like branding, addressing things like proper utility. And I'm putting that in quotes because of, I know there's a negative connotation behind that, but really establishing a product or service that, or even just if it is that you want to build a community, like, hey, that has value too, but just do it in a way where you have a plan behind it. And so to Snoop's case, this plan is just continuing. He's just now applying it to a new sector.
Absolutely. Zima, go ahead.
It was actually on the previous conversation there. There was something, and I might sound kind of a newbie when I say this, but Metaverse D, is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
She said something very interesting. This one sentence, she said, "I am personally doxxed to J-Chains." Now, to me, this is actually an interesting concept because when I think of doxing, etc., I'm kind of a classical business person, so like to have a character and all that is kind of unique to me. And the whole dox thing, it's like, okay, so do I want the whole world? But I think it's a great. I'm sure it's not new, okay, but I like the whole concept of finding credible leaders in the space and saying, okay, I will dox myself to them, so that if that conversation arises, I don't have to defend myself in that way. I just wanted to bring that up because I didn't realize such a thing could be. That's all.
Yeah, oh, go ahead.
I'm from.
That's definitely interesting. And it's also overhead, right? When most people think of overhead, they think of just financial. And that is important because one of the things you want to see out of projects is that continuity does come over, right? 95% of businesses have a larger overhead than income for their first 3 to 5 years. And so when you see projects that literally have zero overhead out the gate, it can be alarming, but also the overhead of yourself. And that does tie into the branding. Coming into a space and expecting to just have this instant reputation and everyone loving you. Well, what have you invested into yourself? What have you invested into your project? What have you invested into your brand before you expect anything in return? Look at those who invested in Bitcoin in 2010. Look at how long it took it to get to where it was, but they still reached the goal. And so if you want to get somewhere, you have to be willing to invest in yourself, invest in your brand, deal with the overhead to get the results that you want.
I love that. I just wanted to jump in real quick and say that for me, I'm very much a decentralization maxi. And the ideal state of the future of crypto is that we truly don't have to dox, and that our reputation lives amongst our actions in the space, how we trade, how we treat people, everything on the blockchain. I chose to dox, to JChains, because we were going to be meeting in person shortly. He was working on a documentary where I may or may not be on camera. So it really made sense at the time. But ultimately, I think if you build the appropriate reputation with your brand, and your brand can be slightly different than who you are in real life, right? Or it can be very much the same. Just for me, part of the reason I don't dox is I have a family. Sometimes people aren't very nice to women on the internet. I just wanted to have a little bit of separation for that safety factor as well, especially being in this space this early, because who knows, maybe I'm the next, millionaire in 10 years, and we don't know, and I don't want to be stalked. But I do love the discussion about, who you choose to dox to, and reputation, and that hard work and branding. And I want people out there to feel like they don't have to dox to know that someone's a good person, because there's plenty of people out there that dox and they rug projects left and right. So, the reputation is on the blockchain. It's what you build in the space every day, and it's what you build in the bear markets, so that you're not just coming around with your hand off in the bear.
I was just gonna say to that, it's crazy, D, because you're definitely not gonna be a millionaire, D. For sure, you're not gonna be a millionaire. You're gonna be a billionaire. You're gonna surpass that million far before that. So good thing, protecting yourself. You know what I'm saying? And everyone has that choice. I remember when I first came into the space, I didn't understand the whole docs thing. I learned from YouTube all about crypto and watching all these different guys and stuff like that. And so when I came into the Twitter space, I didn't realize that was a whole thing. And so like, I was out there like, say, this is who I am. You want to get on FaceTime calls? And people are like, yo, you are a freaking weirdo. But I made some of the greatest relationships in my life. You know what I'm saying? And whether you're doxxed, undoxxed, however you want to be seen in this space, as long as you're a good person, your actions will show true. And everybody should be willing to put a little bit of time into this space before they come with their hand out, for sure.
That is
Turbo.
So important.
Isn't it crazy, God, that we just talked about that the other day? We've been in events for weeks now. But the other day I called Turbo and I said, yeah, you do know my name. Obviously, you've seen what I look like. Now I'm going to tell you who I really am. And so we talked, I think, almost 2 hours. And I just let myself out. It's like, this is who I am, Turbo.
I love that, man. I appreciate that, too.
It's so important that all of us in the sea, because if you don't have, there's people that you're single, you kind of live alone, or you do your thing, right? And if you're caught up in the world of Web3, I mean, you could probably go days without actually talking to someone in real life. So I think it's not only, and this is not the same situation that Ardo was talking about, but I think it's super important that if you find yourself in this ecosystem, and maybe in the real life you're a little bit alone, find someone here in this ecosystem that you resonate with. Let them mentor you mentor them. Find a way to connect with somebody so that you can have that outlet, because there are so many people here in that same situation. We're all here for one way, shape, or form, the same philosophy or idea. We're all into something that's new and exciting. So find someone that you resonate with. Crypto, you got your hand up.
Yeah, I appreciate the perspective on the whole docs thing, because I really didn't understand why. I primarily came from cryptos like coins and such, and when researching a project, like the team was visible, and in fact, if they weren't, like that was a telltale sign that they were a crap coin, or they were gonna rug, or being nefarious with what they were doing. I think it was primarily in NFTs per se that people just stop doxing. But I understand it from Metaverse D's perspective, and of course too, like even with people that are doxed, they can still be nefarious. But it just made it easier for folks like me to be able to do, in a sense, a background check, a deep dive, or see if the person has the background to execute upon what they were proposing, things of that nature. It made it a lot harder in NFTs, and that's really why I didn't fully get into NFTs as much as I should have, in my opinion. But I appreciate the perspective on that, because I really didn't understand why, especially if you were supposed to be running, quote unquote, a company. I'd like to know who I'm giving my money to.
Yeah. No, hey, listen, Zay, I'm the exact same way. I faded the early days of NFTs just because I was all hyped up with crypto. And then I was actually making, I think I talked about this last week, I was making the push towards the metaverse when all of this hype for NFT stuff was coming out. So like I've fucking missed some banger of deals because I was more focused on what was going on in the metaverse. But hey, I think hopefully, in 5 years when all of that comes to fruition, all of that groundwork that we did ahead of time is going to be all worth it. KT, what's up?
So about the doxing and undoxing, I'm curious what people think based on the conversation we had just a few seconds ago about branding and attendance at all of these huge events. If you are undoxed, what's the point of doing these live events where nobody knows who you are and nobody knows what you look like?
Well,
You're just going as some random dude.
No, you can go, but like I'm telling you, like in the early days when people were doxxed, like if the camera comes out, you will either see them put their hand over their face or they'll say no pictures. I mean, that's how historically I've seen them run it. Or you'll get the people that a photo will get taken and they'll say like, "Hey, I'm gonna need you to put a PFP over my face." Like, there's no way I want my face shown. Like, there's ways around it. Do I agree with it? No, but for the protection of some people, listen, there are some people that have made hundreds of millions of dollars and they don't want you to know who they are for their own safety. So I get it. I absolutely get it. And that's just, that's where we are in this industry. But like the effect of going to a live event, if you are undoxed, that's something you got to deal with. That's the undoxed persons that if cameras are out and you're at an event, I mean, going into these events that cameras are out. So, wear your mask like Shil and I used to do, even after, everybody knew who he was.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there for conversation because I'm with you, Chains. If you're going to be out there, you're going to be doing it. People want to know who they're buying from. They go to the butcher because they like the butcher, not because of the cow that the steak came from. Same concept with this.
Oh, that's a really good point, man. You don't go to the butcher because of the cow. You go to the butcher because you like the conversation
of the butcher. Exactly. You go because he knows what he's doing. He's got, or you can resonate with something that they've done before. I'm in a lot of communities where I'm there not because of the project itself, but because of the people behind it, because we have something in common that's awesome. And and they had to dox at some level because maybe I don't know their seed phrase, but I know where they're from and I know about their family and I know about what they love to do because we have some commonality there. Being undoxed kind of puts up a wall between that. So you don't really know who you're talking to and what you're doing. It's like going to the show and seeing somebody do Shakespeare. It's like, yeah, that's Hamlet, but who's playing Hamlet? You don't really know.
Right. Because on here, when I talk to people for months and then go meet them in person at a conference or something like that, it changes the dynamics. It feels a little weird, like, because that's not the picture in my head of who I was talking to. It's almost like getting catfish. I don't know, but I get your point, T.
Well, this is why I like the idea of having, individuals that you trust dox those that you want to be doxed, instead of so that they have that barrier, right? They accomplish, establishing that personality with the right people, that trust, and then they don't have to feel so paranoid.
That's a great point. Turbo, you got your hand up?
Well, Jay, we are about, we're 10 minutes over our general stop time there, so I'll try to keep it short. Everybody talking about doxing, but have you done any docking? And that's where you just go and you stay with somebody from the Web3 space, man. That's where it's at. You really want to get to know someone, go stay with them. You know, like that's one of my favorite things about this space. If anybody would love for Turbo to come and visit with them, please let me know. Definitely would love to come and kick it with you. Currently in San Fran with Fully Vox. And we've had just an amazing time. We got a lot of work done. And you know, we don't have to keep everything URL. You know, we can make this IRL. We are real people behind these. Well, I hope so. Some of you might not be. I'm still pretty convinced that some of you are in fact bots. But you know, that's just the way it goes. So we appreciate each and every one of you guys for pulling up, being a part of this conversation. It's been amazing. You know, we talked about Amazon and Snoop Dogg. Oh my. Everybody's trying to get in. You know, we're trying to figure it out. They're trying to figure it out. We're doing it all together every Monday through Friday, Web3 breakfast, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be here. You know, make sure you get you some eggs, get some coffee. There's not a better way to start your day than with a little bit of breakfast with J Chains. We always have such great people coming out like Ardo and Lady Boss and Metaverse D and KT and Crypto Zay and Zima and Ren 10 and Showbiz. I see everybody down here. Crypto K. We got the whole family.
Got the whole fam in the house today.
Dude. Beautiful, man. Beautiful.
Hey, before we end this thing, I know, man, I hate ending Web3 breakfast because it's so awesome.
Today we're gonna run it a little bit longer today because I still have to do the giveaway and I still have to live taste test the barbecue Doritos. So I figured, you know, and here's the deal. You know, typically we run this show for an hour every morning. Today, for whatever reason, it's like I hit start and then all of a sudden it was 11 o'clock. So today's show went by way too fast for me. So we're going to run this one to 11:30. We're going to do 90 minutes today. We got a little extra time because it just, honestly, it was way too fast of a show.
I have some news that's about to drop your jaw right there on YouTube. Okay. You ready?
All right. If you're watching, you're about to see my jaw drop.
Amazon is joining the Web3 gaming fight. Boom.
Boom. Really? Wow.
Oh. Yep. And that
you can go look it up. They are joining the Web3 gaming initiative. Why? Because Google has struck first. And I told you that when their competition comes, they jump in the fight because they want to stay ahead in the race of innovation.
Yeah, but AWS, they're already way ahead.
They own the internet. Facts. They run the internet.
Facts. Like, look, I like what doing from the jump because they literally started hiring, developed a whole crypto department to these in-house, and I completely agree with you, Final Frontier. In fact, I'm not sure who's behind this account, the Final Frontier account. Like, your voice sounds familiar, but again, branding, right? Like, but either way, they did it correctly, in my opinion, because they went internal, they learned, and then, of course, too, they're following the trends. And that was the reason why I asked that question earlier about Eve Denver on what the narrative was, because I see that a lot of these major entities are getting into the gaming aspect. Even EA's, co-founder coming into the space with a Web3 gaming company out in Barcelona. So, like, gaming is seeming like it's the narrative that a lot of these big companies are taking. And of course, too, I like what you guys are doing, Final Frontier. So always been a fan. But nonetheless, like, I'm with it because since I started this journey, I was like, it's a couple industries that I think could really bring on adoption. That was gaming, gambling, and porn. And we'll see with that one.
Those are recession proof. Absolutely 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? All right, let's do this really quick. If you guys are watching on the live stream, I'm gonna go ahead and pick that the Twitter picker now, just because I feel so bad that I didn't pick it last night, but I did enjoy a nice evening with my wife, so it's all a good trade-off. I got 24 entries going for this. It is a Ledger backpack that I had gotten at some crypto conference at some point in my journey, and we're moving, so I'm cleaning house. There'll be more things to do giveaways with, but I don't want to just be like an everyday giveaway kind of guy. But here we go. We're gonna pull this one right now. If you are watching on the YouTubes, you can watch it happen live, so you know it's legit. Begin draw, and the winner is, oh shit, one of the homies of the show, Rintintin. Congratulations, pal. I love it when a homie wins.
Damn, man, and that thing is full of cash too. Shit.
I know, right?
Damn.
It was. I did pull that out right before because it was, the bag as is condition. So right before we pulled the Twitter picker, I did pull. I think it had about $1.5 million in cash, but I did pull it out just so the backpack's not too heavy for shipping. So
Does it have a real Bitcoin in it? You know how many people don't know that those actually existed? There were Bitcoins that had the key on them.
Yep.
Yep, there's a lot of really cool things that have come out over the course of time. There were candles. I don't know if you guys remember this one, candles, and down on the bottom would be some kind of, I don't know if it was a hardware wallet or something that had some kind of Bitcoin in there. And I think like there was a few that had like a full Bitcoin, and then sometimes you'd win just like a bunch of Satoshis, whatever. But I thought that was a really cool concept of, you got to burn this whole candle to get down to the bottom. I'm sure some degens just bought them and just cracked the wax open and got what they needed out of it.
Yeah, how many did you bust, Jay? How many candles did you crack?
Couple. Candle
My
cracker.
dog.
That's our new NFT line, the candle crackers. Wait, no, actually, that didn't come out right.
No,
nope,
we're definitely not going to be that.
No, we're gonna take that back. Everybody, just forget you heard me say that.
Yep. And look.
I knew it. I knew we could get canceled.
Look, I'm excited. I know me and Turbo still got to have a call with Jay Chains. Look, the UCL event's going to be huge for Win Media, and also there's something big being worked on with the next Meta Party. Again, it's going to give everyone around the world who either can't afford to go to an IRL event or who can't get there because of where they live, and they get a chance to hang out with you all. They get a chance to still have fun. They get a chance to be eligible for giveaways. They get a chance to have that euphoric experience and take part of something that we typically only see at the IRL events. And the organizations involved get a chance to gateway themselves to people who weren't even in the Web3 space, and they get to learn about your project, come into your community, and you have the opportunity to educate them. And even if you only get one person come in, your mission is accomplished because you brought someone into the space.
Absolutely, man. I think that is a very important thing to remember and to talk about here. Like, we try to, whether it's you learn something every single day, or we get a new member of the community every single day. I mean, we're always trying to make sure that this community and the opportunities are here for every single person. It's such an exciting time, and it's such a great opportunity and community and ecosystem to be a part of. I love you guys. I think that y'all are just so amazing. I got to do this now. I literally have been waiting almost 24 hours for this. I don't even know what time I got these chips yesterday, but we got another 10 minutes in the show. But if you are watching on the YouTube, about to crack open this Dorito sweet and tangy barbecue flavor. Here we go. You can hear me open the bag. That was kind of loud. Sorry.
And I just have to say that this is not sponsored by Dorito or Frito-Lay.
It could be. I reached out to see if they wanted to pull up. They didn't respond to me, but I've gotten some interactions from them, especially around the Super Bowl.
Dorito tacos.
So, how is it? Come on, how is it, Jay? What's going on? I mean, you got a mouthful over there. You're just chomping away.
I was put one in. Kind of want to really understand the flavor profile. It's good. Definitely not my favorite. It tastes like some other Dorito chip that I've had in my life. So maybe more like, it probably tastes like a sweet chili mixed with something else of the Doritos.
Yes, the sweet spicy chili is my favorite.
So it's good, but it's not I'm a nacho cheese guy. That was good. I'll enjoy the bag. I'll probably eat them all, not in one sitting. But I will continue to get nacho cheese. That's my opinion.
Okay, but what about the dust on your fingers? Is there any? I mean, do we have any barbecue remnants left over? I mean, what's the texture? Give us the play-by-play.
Well, I was very cautious because I'm doing this live on camera. I was very cautious to just really go in there with the pinchers and not really get a whole lot of finger action on the chips. I thought that would do myself a disservice. I could look in the bag. I will look in the bag right now. I'll tell you, these suckers look like they got more flavoring put on them than the nacho cheese dust. Here's one right here. But they're like,
And what about the snap of the chip? Can you get one and just like give it a snap in the middle? I want to see the snap on that if we could, please.
you want to see a snap?
I am excessively engaged right now. I don't know why.
Okay, so
I feel like this is some weird Doritos ASMR. Like lick your fingers, snap the chip, shake the bag.
Yeah, D. What do you think this is? Is this
Get
breakfast?
it.
Come on.
okay, all right. I will snap the chip into the microphone for all my ASMR lovers out there. Ready?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, silence. Turbo, mute yourself.
Oh shit.
Snap that.
Oh my god, that sounded so
Oh my
nice.
God. Oh God.
All right, guys, I love you all. Anybody that decided that today was your day to come hang out at Web3 Breakfast for your first time, I appreciate you. Everybody else that was up here on stage, the normal fam, the crew, I love you guys. Thank you so much for anybody that popped into the crowd and listened. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. The Web3 Breakfast is my favorite way to start the day. I hope it becomes yours. We do a lot of cool things. We talk about a lot of good things. We're very positive, motivating. We are the community, for the community, by the community kind of stuff. So we'll be back tomorrow on Tuesday for some more Web3 Breakfast at 10 a.m. There are several things going on today. I don't have my calendar up, but I think there's I'm going to do a noon space. Probably got a granny space or meme NFT space. One of the two. We'll figure all that out. So be on the lookout for some links. Congratulations to Rintin for winning the Ledger backpack. I will hit you up, get your address, get that thing sent out this week. Blah, 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 blah. Let's get ready for a fantastic week. Make sure that you crush your dreams. Set some goals so that you can put some systems in place to meet your goals. Let's try to knock one thing off your list this week. We'll see you all week for some more programming, but don't forget Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do our 420 show. Saw a lot of the Kid Called Beast fam in the crowd today. Thank you, guys. I got to get in. I just found one that I liked, but I got to find somebody that can sell me one with a microphone and a silver Cuban chain. So if you guys know anybody with one of those for sale, let me know. There are none for sale in the secondary, but that's what I'm looking for. A microphone and a chain on a Kid Called Beast. Let's go. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey.